Hi, my name is Satsu5, and this is the tabletop review over the Cold Steel Roach Belly knife. This is a Cold Steel model Roach Belly. Oh, that's the name of it at least. And I'm going to go ahead and give you the specs, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on the knife. Okay, the blade is 4.5 inches. The overall length from butt to tip is 8.5 inches. The blade thickness is 2.5 millimeters, and the weight is 2.6 ounces. In the sheath is obviously corduroy. Not corduroy, Cordura. And it's the 1416 corrupt stainless steel that's heat treated to 56 to 57 on the rock rod hardness scale. And it's a very affordable knife. I didn't want to use the word cheap, but some people might say that, but it's a very affordable knife. In the Cold Steel catalog, the suggested retail price is $18.99. The special projects price is $14.99. This is my brother's knife, and I believe he got it on the internet for $10. So it's a very good knife, fixed blade to buy. You know, it's very affordable, and you can really use it and abuse it without worrying about losing your investment. Now, this is the Roachberry. Has a nice upswept blade. Has some jimping on the back that you can rest your thumb on, and it's pretty effective jimping. I mean, it's not you can't use it as a sawback or anything, but you can put your thumb on there and it really grips in. And you know, considering that the sheath, not the sheath, but the handle is polypropylene, that is really a must on this knife, is the jimping. And it's very serviceable. You can use it. Now, there's a lot of people who use Dremels and they cut like more jimping down the spine, or you know, maybe cut like some kind of pattern into it to give them more grip. You don't have to do that. This jimping's good enough. Yeah, it's very good. Has kind of a curved handle, so it's really nice to use. You can place it on the table to make a cut, and your fingers do not hit the table. And you can kind of do this rocking motion if you have to. Very comfortable carrying in the reverse grip. This is mostly a hunting, skinning type knife, but me personally, I consider it as more of a EDC knife. And I've used it as that. I've carried it in pockets inside the waistband, and you know, carried it around college to use as my EDC knife, sharpening pencils, you know, you name it. I carried it around, and I was really happy with it. It's so lightweight, and it's only 4.5 inch blade. It's really comfortable to carry, you know, it's a pretty cheap thrown together sheath, but it works. My own opinion about the sheath, though, is that we would really do a lot better to get rid of this little belt loop. My own opinion, you don't need the belt loop. I never used a belt loop in carrying this knife. I'll slip it in a pocket, or I'll put it inside the waistband, or you can put it like in a belt without using this. You know, just kind of wedge it in between your waistband and your belt, and it carries really comfortably in there. It's very comfortable. Hardly realize it's there. And then if you need it, depending if you have it this way or the edge torn up, it doesn't really matter, but you have it on your side and you need it, it's really quiet to deploy. I'm not trying to hint at anything there, but it is EDC fixed blade, and you obviously don't need to be drawing a lot of attention to yourself if you're carrying an EDC fixed blade, because that's a sensitive subject in some places. It's not politically correct. People don't like it when people carry fixed blades on the person on a day-to-day basis for some reason. It scares people. So the fact that you can get it open really quietly without having to undo a bunch of snaps and Velcro is really a plus. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, though, you put the knife in there real nice and tight, and it's retaining. I mean, I can probably shake it out, and I'm going to try. And I'm really... There you go. It finally came out. Excuse me for one moment. I really didn't think that sheath was going to come out after a few seconds of shaking it, but I was expecting it just to slip. But you can see, you shove this knife deep in though, you know, it's not going to fall out. It has nothing to snag on, so it's not going to snag on a twig and yank it out. But yet, it's very quiet to deploy. Pull it out, sharpen pencils, cut rope, cut string, cut bad guy, and it's back in the sheath. No one knows it's been out. And the other benefit to this needle sharp point is you can really get around and do some fine work, whether it is cleaning your fingernails, maybe you have a bad splinter you need to get out, or you have to do some really precision cutting and hold it kind of like a scalpel and cut. I've done all these things before, so I can really appreciate a good point on a knife. Some drawbacks on this saw that, you know, one, when it comes to you from the mail from cold steel, it's not as sharp as a cold steel ought to be. You know, a lot of us knife collectors and knife users who shop from cold steel, especially with their tactical photos, we expect the knife to be razor sharp when it comes in. And, you know, usually the box says, warning, razor sharp, handle with care. I would say this had like a somewhat utility edge, but it was not razor sharp. It was not popping hairs. But the good news is that is very easy to fix. Although my brother is an awesome knife sharpener, but you know, he just ran this up on the steel a couple of times, and it was ready to go. This knife is also very comfortable. It's very easy to handle, and it's just very lively. Now, I said again, I believe this is a great EDC fixed blade. Why would someone carry a EDC fixed blade or everyday carry a fixed blade? Several reasons. One, they're a lot faster than any folding knife can ever be. There's no switchblade, gravity, or butterfly knife or assisted knife that can be faster than a fixed blade if it's just sitting in a sheath like this, unless there's a bunch of Velcro or straps involved. But just a simple sheath like this, there's nothing faster. It's out, you know. It's that fast. It's out. And so if you have to use this for a self-defense situation, which this really would not be an ideal self-defense knife, but it can be used as such, you can get it out very quickly, quietly, and do whatever you need to do to stop the threat. And it's back in your sheath. And you know, it's just very it's there. You can get to it. It's quick. It's easy to get to. It's also good if you need to skin animals. Has the coiled upswept blade, so your blade will stay in the cut longer. Has the fine tip, so you can really get in those hard to reach areas. Even though it's not a great self-defense knife for as thumb ramp and super steel or fancy handle, it's cheap, affordable, and let's face it, if you're ever going to use a knife for a self-defense situation, you're probably only going to use it once ever in your life. I mean, hopefully you won't be using a knife for self-defense on a day-to-day basis. Otherwise, you need to find a new neighborhood to move into. So, carrying this on you, it's lightweight, it's legal, and I'd like to say most places, definitely legal in Texas, and it has the advantages of being concealable, quiet, and useful. You know, I said you can put you can ball your fist up on it and put the knife on the table, and your handles and your fingers won't touch the table, so you can use it as a kitchen knife. Now, whether or not you want to use it as an EDC knife, that's up to you, but I love using it. No one knows that I have it. You know, it's just very comfortable, lightweight. I forget it's there. Another good thing they put on here is a lanyard hole in there. Now, does a knife of this size need a lanyard loop? Probably not. You're probably not going to be doing any big cutting jobs as far as splitting wood or chopping with it, but it's nice that they thought of you. And you can put a little lanyard on there if you want help grabbing it. Maybe you want to grab it and extend your reach to make a long distance cut. Maybe you want to loop your hand around it because you're in a wet, watery situation and you don't want to drop the knife. But it is just awesome. For the price, if you only had enough money to take one knife, or buy one knife and use it for a very long time, this is a good one to buy. You know, like I said, $10. You get a knife that you can carry with you every day without realizing it's there. Plus, it's as strong as a fixed blade. You know, it's stronger than any folding knife could be, and it's faster than any folding knife can ever be. It's faster than the wave system. It's faster than a push-button switchblade, auto knife, gravity knife. It's faster than all of those. But yet, you know, it's just simple, simplicity. And anybody who knows the science or math or anything knows that the correct answer is the simplest point from A to B. That is it. Simplicity in its simplest form. A fixed blade knife for a low price that can do just about anything you need it to do, including you know, home surgery. Hopefully you won't ever have to do that, but hey, stuff happens. You can use this as a survival knife, not survival, but as a camping knife, you know, as far as food preparation, bushcraft. You know, I'd be careful with that tip with bushcraft use, but you can use it for that. You can use it for EDC, self-defense, and it's just an all-around good knife to have, especially for the price, which, you know, again, is really cheap. It's really affordable, and to me, this is a home run. If you have the skills to touch up a knife, you will be very happy with this. If you don't have the skills for touching up a knife, then find a buddy. They can touch it up really quick. It'll get razor sharp, and you can carry it. And like I said, you can carry it cross draw. You can just put it in a pocket. I tell you what would be really cool for cold steel to do, or as a home modification yourself. I don't know if you've seen these. It's like a rubbery mesh cloth that you put on, like maybe your table or on your console of your car, so that you can place your cell phone on it, and it has high friction, so your cell phone won't slip or a cup won't slip off your table. You know, it's kind of a rubbery material. That'd be cool to put around this bottom part. That way you can put it inside the pocket, and it'll kind of snag your clothes, and it'll be even more less likely for you to draw the sheath out. Although I feel that that is very unlikely for you to do. This is just so easy to draw. You know, not only will it grab inside your pocket, it'll grab in your waistband or your belt. But really, there's no use for this little flat loop right here. My opinion, I'll just go ahead and cut that off. And that is the knife. I'm extremely happy with it. Just really easy to use, gets razor sharp, very affordable, and easy to carry with you on a daily basis. I'm a Satsu 5, and I'm out.